Welcome everyone to the Western Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. We've got an exciting session today. Before we begin, we'll cover a few housekeeping items. Note first off that if you have questions, you can use the Q&A button to type your question to the presenters at any time. Also note that your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists can't hear or see you. Also note that we've got a couple additional sessions on the StriveScan website. So if you have interest in those, please go ahead to strivescan.com and sign up accordingly. Also note that the recording will be available for this about a week after the call is ended. You can go to strivescan.com/WACAC for the presentation. With that, we'll turn it over to our first presenter from the University of Delaware. Chuck, I believe you're on mute if you want to kick your mute button off for me.
Silly me, I apologize. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here, everyone. I'm Chuck Lydiard with the University of Delaware. I'm regionally based in Long Beach, California. So most of the conversations begin with parents and students about the University of Delaware, about talking about our prime location. We're really halfway between four major East Coast cities. The closest is Philadelphia. We're a 45-minute drive away from Philadelphia. And we're along the I-95 corridor as long as the Amtrak and SEPTA commuter train line. So we are also connected to Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and New York City as well. But we are a true residential college campus. We're the flagship Tier 1 research university in the state of Delaware. We have 18,000 undergraduates and about 5,500 graduate students, making us a larger school, but predominantly focused on undergraduate education. And 70% of our students are not coming from the state of Delaware. We're predominantly Chicago-based East regarding a majority of our admitted and matriculated students, but we also have a very strong West Coast presence as well. And a lot of the times our students are really enjoying the fact that we have an abundant amount of green space where we have a lot of social and academic urban options. We're a real traditional college campus. We have that Georgian architecture, the red bricks, the white columns, and a wide open green space that goes from the north to south of our undergraduate campus, which we actually call the green. And you'll see a lot of activity happening in between classes or even during classes when small classes will meet on nice weather days as well. But we also have on the perimeter our laboratories, our dormitories, our research labs. So everything is taking place centralized on campus. And I feel with it being very flat and bike and skateboard friendly, students don't really need necessarily to have a car on campus to get around and enjoy our college town and enjoy a lot of the things that make us unique. And one of those is our Main Street. So we have 80 different unique boutiques, restaurants, and shops that are independent of our school on our Main Street. And it's actually a 10-minute walk from the center of campus. The Main Street intersects that large quad called the Green. And one great thing about Delaware is there is no sales tax, so your dollar goes a little bit further, but these are all independently owned restaurants and shops, giving it a real cool college town feel, and it allows students to spread out and enjoy the campus and not only do academic work, but also socialize too, and not have to just be confined to be on campus. So keep in mind that is within walking distance. And for those students I meet in Northern California, I compare it in some regards to Walnut Creek's Main Street. And for those that live in Southern California, Old Town Pasadena, or in the Old Town Main Street in Orange, California. Just like many flagship institutions, we have a variety of majors and minors to choose from. All of these rising high school seniors can apply and be directly admitted to any of our programs. Most students actually find it very easily to double major or add 2 or 3 different minors and still graduate in 4 years at the University of Delaware. We have 8 colleges. I feel some majors in the colleges of engineering and health sciences tend to be a little bit more competitive than some of our other majors. And I think nursing, chemical engineering, and biomedical engineering and exercise science tend to be the most competitive at the University of Delaware. So if you are ever considering a possibility of those majors, I would definitely put that as your first choice. But if you're like most students who apply to the University of Delaware, you might have multiple interests. We actually have a unique track called the University Studies track, where 20% of our students come in each year with multiple interests, or they're just not formally decided at this point. So they want to just take their time and go through our liberal arts curriculum. But just keep in mind, we have 8 different colleges with a variety of different major minor combinations. And we also have an honors college at the University of Delaware where 600 first-year students enter in that path. And these 600 students are coming from all the 8 colleges that I mentioned before, and also University Studies track. And this really makes the academic experience more enriched and more engaging right away, because classes in the honors college will never exceed 24 students. We have a living learning community as well. And most students who are looking to do postgraduate work, go to law school, medical school, or have a real distinct path and focus of what they might want to do in their 4 years might choose the honors college. We were the first school to do travel abroad in the United States, and we have a distinct World Scholars program as another living learning community for that as well. These students will spend nearly 2 full years studying abroad, but for the students who want global citizenship to be part of their 4-year experience at the University of Delaware, this is a program for them that I can definitely talk more about afterwards. Lastly, for those rising high school seniors or any other people in high school, the Diamond Challenge is the #1 rated high school youth entrepreneurship competition in the United States. It's a global challenge, so students from all around the world can participate in this free high school entrepreneurship challenge, and you actually don't have to consider University of Delaware to do this as well. I'm going to wrap up here. I'll be in the answering Q&A if you have it, but I'm now going to stop sharing my screen and passing it over to my other colleagues. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. We're on to our second presenter from the University of New Hampshire.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. Everything looks as it should. Yeah.
Yep, I'm able to see.
All right, awesome. Hi, everyone. This is Nian Quach from the University of New Hampshire. So UNH is a flagship public university in the state of New Hampshire. And for today, I would like to highlight for you the many reasons why our students choose the University of New Hampshire, but focus on 3 aspects for you. And they are our academics, our communities, as well as student outcomes. All right, so I'll start by talking a little bit about the academics. So UNH offer over 100 different majors for you to choose from. And one of the things that distinguish UNH in this learning experience is our focus on research. So regardless of a student major, you are encouraged, and I think more importantly, you have the opportunity to do research during your 4-year with us. And at UNH, you do so at a top-tier research university. We are one of just 20 land, sea, and space grant university in the nation, and one of 3 public Tier 1 research university in New England. And so here are the 5 colleges within the University of New Hampshire. All programs at UNH are direct entry, including nursing, all the engineering program, computer science, and business. We also have unique programs such as equine study and popular programs such as marine biology. All are test optional and none are impacted. And then when it comes to research, we also have a lot of different research center and institute, and I thought I would highlight a few of them for you today. So this is an image of our Interoperability Lab, or IOL, at UNH, which is actually one of the world leading testing facility for data and networking products. It employs many of our current undergraduate students, especially those in computer science and engineering. And this is also where the first Apple iPhone was tested by our students before being released to the market. And then research also goes beyond the computer science and engineering field at UNH. Here are images of our exercise science lab, organic dairy research farms, aka amazing ice cream on campus. And of course, there are many facilities, opportunity available to our liberal arts students as well, such as the anthropology dig or our Center for Research on Child Development. The second aspect I would like to highlight for you is our community. So we currently have around 13,000 undergraduate students and 15,000 overall. So this means that UNH are big enough for you to offer you that diverse experiences and the opportunities that you want at a large institution, but still have that tight-knit and personal and supportive community with a lot of school spirit. Our students also embrace the opportunity that our location, the residential campus, and our size offer them. So UNH students are guaranteed housing for all 4 years, and the vast majority, 96 to be exact, live on our Durham campus, which have a classic New England college feel with 27 different resident halls and 3 award-winning dining halls throughout campus. Our students also keep very busy, both on and off campus, on the weekend, as well as during the week, whether it's going to Division I athletic event, participating in one of the 250 different student clubs, or exploring the areas around campus. Our location is also a huge draw for our students, as it's offer a lot of different opportunity, whether it's grabbing a coffee in Durham, going for a walk on the beach, as well only 20 minutes away from the Atlantic Ocean, go skiing in the majestic White Mountain, or heading to Boston, which is only an hour away for an internship, to shop, or to catch a Red Sox or Celtic games with friends. Finally, regarding our location, our Durham campus is very easy to get to. There are direct flights daily from most major airports in California to Boston. And since we're only an hour north of Boston, there's easy access to and from Boston Logan Airport by bus or by the Amtrak train, which stop right on campus. The third aspect of UNH that I want to highlight for you today is our student outcome. As you can see that overall, the vast majority of our graduates reported that they are employed in graduate school. And if they are working, the majority report the job is related to the major area of study at UNH. And I think these results truly speak to the value of an UNH education. And then lastly, I would like to highlight some aspect of our application requirement and process for you. We have several application deadlines, same day every year. We also have been test optional for the last 2 years. And I also want to highlight that we provide quite a bit of financial support to our incoming students, including those from California, in the form of need-based aid as well as merit scholarship. And I would like to wrap up the presentation with a story of one of our recent graduates, Charlie Measham, who graduated from UNH back in May 2020. Not only is he a UNH Wildcat, he's also one of SpaceX's newest engineer. One of my favorite part of Charlie's story was his quote on how life is about the moment. So one of the big moments for Charlie was being a part of UNH robotic team and meeting Elon Musk when the team was competing at a national competition. So with that, whatever the moment will be for you, I hope that UNH get a chance to help you prepare for it. And with that, here's my contact information, and I look forward to chatting with you more about the University of New Hampshire. Thank you.
Thank you. We're on to our next presenter, Mary Ann from Rider University.
Dave, it seems like I'm having a little technical difficulty.
I can see your screen. If you want to maybe just get started, you could work through the slides in this form here. I can see if you just hit the down arrow, you'll be able to pivot to the next slide.
Okay. Okay, nothing's happening.
I can see your first screen here. So if you want to get, are you able to click down to the next slide? Or if you just click in the left window pane there on the slide, you should be able to click to the next slide once you're done.
Okay.
So there you go. So when there you go.
Okay. Okay. Hi, I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. My name is Mary Ann Kohler, and I'm the California regional rep. Unlike some of my colleagues, I do live here on the East Coast, but I do travel to the best coast when we aren't in a pandemic 3 or 4 times a year to meet our students. Currently, we have about 60 students on campus from the best coast. And one of the nice things that I love about Rider is that we are a medium-sized school. You can see our undergraduate enrollment. And the nice part about us, we have students coming from 39 different states. We have 60 students currently from California. Most of our freshmen live on campus and housing's guaranteed for all 4 years. Location, location, location. Like my colleague Chuck said from the University of Delaware, we are located in a fabulous area. We are 10 minutes from Princeton, a great college town, just like Rider. We are 40 minutes from Philadelphia, and we are an hour and a half from New York City. Get used to California public transportation. We will teach you how to use it. One of the nice things that you will find is there are 2 metropolitan airports within an hour of campus, Philadelphia and Newark Liberty, both of which you can get direct flights out of most major cities in California. For instance, LAX, I can get a direct flight out of Philadelphia and also Newark Liberty. And generally the cost is about $300 round trip. So get set, take a flight, come and visit us. We have nearly 70 different majors and programs, many fifth-year options, and our class size is about 21. 94% of our faculty have PhDs. They are the people teaching you in the classroom, not graduate assistants. The other nice thing about where we are located, we are an hour from the Jersey Shore. Not like going to the beach in California. Here on the East Coast, we say we go down the shore. Here are some of the majors that we do offer. Some of the most popular majors that we have in the College of Business Administration are accounting and finance. Those predominantly, most of our students are hired on Wall Street and the other locations that we have. New Jersey is the pharmaceutical capital of the nation. So Johnson & Johnson, who's in the news currently for their new vaccine, will hire more graduates here than some of the other schools here on the East Coast, to keep that in mind. Many of our students coming from California are interested in our fine and performing arts, and our musical theater program has become very competitive because we are only an hour from New York City and Broadway when things aren't dark. Moving right along, how do you become a Bronc? Once again, Broncs are our mascot. We are Division I in sports. We have 20 different men's and women's sports. So here are some important dates to keep in mind, particularly if you're interested in any of the theater and fine and performing arts. That's an early deadline with our early action. We do have a deadline enrollment date of May 1st. By that time, we do require a non-refundable deposit. We have scholarships that are automatic, that you do not need another application to apply, and they are very generous scholarships indeed. Here are some of the criteria for students incoming. About a 3.4 cumulative GPA. We are also looking for rigor in your curriculum, so continue to challenge yourself with honors and AP. The average SAT 1100 and ACT of 23. However, the good news is we are, like many of my colleagues out there, test optional. Lifting barriers. This year, because of the pandemic, our president, Dr. Delamo, did a fabulous thing by reducing our tuition total to $35,000. And then on addition, there is a room and board cost. So this is a 22% reduction. We are very excited about that. And we hope that students will not rule out a private school because what we are calling tuition shock. So that doesn't exist. Here's some of the freshman scholarships. We do have a full tuition scholarship. which is a trustee scholarship. So you can see the value there, a presidential scholarship. Once again, you do not have to apply for the presidential, the provosts, the deans, the founders, and the recognition. It's automatic. The only one you need to apply and interview for is the trustee. How can you stay in contact? Well, it's tough these days. We know that. So hopefully when some of the pandemic barriers are lifted, you will be able to come in person. In the meantime, do a virtual visit. You can contact me, and here is my contact. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Marianne, thank you so much. We're on to our next presenter from Rutgers University, New Brunswick.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming today. And my name is Maria. I am the regional recruiter for Rutgers University, New Brunswick, and I'm based in Southern California in Los Angeles. I recruit out here on the West Coast, and it's actually my first WACAC fair, so I'm excited to chat with you guys. So I'm just going to get to it. So here we go. All right, so these are just a few, fun facts and stats about Rutgers, including like our ranking. We're top 25 public university. We are the #1 most diverse school in the Big Ten Conference. We are part of the Big Ten Conference, so the Academic and Athletic Alliance. And then we're one of the most diverse universities in the country in general. So that's something that we're really proud of. As a research university, we have over 175 research centers and institutes on our campus, and we have over 750 student clubs and organizations. So there's definitely a lot going on. We're located in New Brunswick, New Jersey. So just like Ryder, we're also in New Jersey. So we're going to keep the Jersey love going. But we have something very different to offer, being that Ryder is a private school and Rutgers is a large public school. So here we go. Here's the map. So as you can see, like I said, we're also in New Jersey, but we're a little bit closer to New York City and a little bit further from Philadelphia. So we're 45 minutes from New York and 90 minutes from Philadelphia. And as my colleague Marianne was saying, the public transportation in Jersey and in the New York metro area in general, and on the pretty much like most of the Eastern Seaboard, is really amazing, especially compared to out here or in a lot of the rest of the country. I grew up on the East Coast, so I can attest that I definitely love the public transportation there. It's a different lifestyle, and it's really convenient, and it's a nice way to save money as well, especially coming from the West Coast where it's such a car culture. So this just shows you, where we are located on the map. So you can see, some of the other states where our colleagues are located are also within easy driving or train distance as well. And then another thing is it's really easy to get to our campus from any major airport in California. We have direct flights to the Newark airport. You could also fly to any of the New York City airports, but Newark airport is only 20 minutes away, so it's super convenient. And then here's a little map of our campus just to show you like a very, cartoon version of the layout, but you can see we have, it's pretty big. So we have different types of environments on our campus. So in downtown New Brunswick, that's like the center of the campus. That's where you would find the train that goes to both Philadelphia and New York City and other parts of New Jersey. And then with the College Ave is like the main strip that kind of runs through downtown New Brunswick. New Brunswick is kind of like a small city, or some people would call it a suburb of New York. And then we have a variety of different atmospheres on campus too. So students can choose to live in any of the 5 neighborhoods, as we call them. We have the Bush campus, the College Avenue campus, the Douglas and Cook campuses, and the Livingston campus. And so Douglas and Cook is kind of more like a nature vibe. So we have like beautiful ponds, and that's where our animal science majors take a lot of their classes. We have like a farm where farm animals live there. The College Avenue campus is kind of like the downtown, like more like a city vibe. And then Bush and Livingston have more of like a suburban vibe. So you'll probably have classes on all 5 campuses, with your major being located primarily on one, but taking general education courses, you'll probably have an opportunity to have classes on all of the different sides of the university. And despite that, it sounds like it's really big. I mean, it is a big campus. That is true, but it is easy to get around it as well. So we have a free bus system going back to the public transportation. It's only for students and staff, and it's free. So it's free for all students, and it runs until like 3 a.m. So it's very easy to get around. There's an app that tells you exactly when it's coming. So it's really great, and it's really convenient as well. And then all these different neighborhoods on campus have their own cafeteria with different food every day, and then they have their own like gym and things like that. So there's a lot of conveniences of all the different neighborhoods, and you can kind of choose one that kind of fits the vibe of where you prefer to live. So it's really cool. It's really diverse, like I said, in terms of students, with ethnic diversity, religious diversity, geographic diversity, and also just diversity of interest as well. Well, I'll get more into that, but we have students from all 50 states and over 100 countries. And so you'll meet people from all over the world, really. And California is our third feeder state outside of New Jersey. So you wouldn't be the only student from the West Coast either. So we have over 36,000 undergraduate students. And then we have grad school programs as well. We even have 2 med schools, law school, et cetera, pretty much anything you can think of. And we are a Division I NCAA school. So the sports is a thing. The very first college football game ever was played on our campus against Princeton in 1869. So there's a lot of history going on, primarily with all of our East Coast schools that we've been around, for a long time. And we have over 600 student organizations. We have over 80 fraternities and sororities. We also have 180 study abroad programs on literally all 7 continents. So even Antarctica, you can go anywhere. So it's really cool. There's a lot of great opportunities. Even our students who are in more rigorous majors, like traditionally known as like rigorous majors like engineering, and a lot of students might think like, oh, I might not be able to study abroad because my major is so intense. Even those students find ways to study abroad. So there's a lot of really cool opportunities. And then when we're not in a pandemic, we have like concerts and festivals and stuff, and a lot of really cool student life going on. It's not just like a commuter school. There's a lot going on the campus. So a lot of people stay there on weekends, and you have that true college town vibe. Here you can see all of our first year schools. So when you apply, you can choose up to 3 of these schools. So here you have the School of Arts and Sciences, which houses the majority of our majors. We have a 6-year pharmacy program. So you graduate with a PharmD. We have a School of Engineering, a business school. Mason Gross School of the Arts is our arts conservatory. So just like Ryder, we have the benefit of being close to Broadway and just having great theater scene in New Jersey as well. We have the School of Environmental and Biological.
Maria, we're over time here. I'm going to transition it over to our next colleague.
Okay.
Thank you so much. We
No problem.
appreciate
Thank you.
all the great information. On
Yep.
to our next presenter from Ohio Wesleyan University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney Dunn, and I am an Assistant Director of Admission here at Ohio Wesleyan University, or as we like to call ourselves, OWU. We are a small liberal arts school located just outside of Columbus, Ohio, in a small town called Delaware. An overview of campus: we have about 1,400 students on campus that come from 44 different states. So we're a little bit different. We're much smaller than a lot of the other institutions you're hearing from today. But we do have an average class size of about 15 students with the 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So we really do have that one-on-one attention from professors. The next most represented state after Ohio is actually California. So we do have a good amount of students coming from the West Coast to Ohio Wesleyan. Our students are very service oriented. It is not a requirement of our campus, but they complete a cumulative number of hours of 45,000 hours each year in service. 37% of our students will participate in varsity athletics in one of our 24 varsity sports on campus. 95% of our recent graduates are either employed or in grad school within 6 months of graduation. And 29% of our students personalize their own programs, so by either doing 2 majors, complementing with minors and things like that. And then 91% of our recent grads will participate in our signature program that we call the OWU Connection. So the OWU connection is how we categorize all of our out of the classroom learning. So think internships, research, and things like that. And we categorize all of these experiences in 3 ways. Think big, go global, and get real. So what do I mean when I talk about those things? So when we talk about thinking big, this is where we talk about research and interdisciplinary programs. So we have 2 signature research programs. So our summer science research, which is specifically for students to work one-on-one with their professors over the summer doing paid research on campus. But then we also have what we call a theory to practice grant, which allows students to go anywhere in the country to do research that is funded by Ohio Wesleyan. So our students can write those grants to the university to get that funding. And then the second category, go global. 70% of our students will study abroad at some point during their time at Ohio Wesleyan. And they can do that in 3 ways. The first is your traditional going abroad for the full semester, and you can really go anywhere in the world. But we do have over 4,000 partnerships with organizations and universities around the world. And then we also offer travel learning courses. So it's a course that you take on campus for the full semester, and then the class will travel together at the end of the semester in May for about 2 to 3 weeks. So it's a great chance to get that abroad experience without having to miss out on on-campus activities for the full semester. And then we also have those theory to practice grants. Students can go anywhere in the world with that funding to do research, to do travel experiences and things like that. So we really do want you to personalize those experiences, and we have classes that will teach you how to write those grants. And then the third category, get real, where we categorize our internships or what we call an externship to get that hands-on practical experience. And an externship is more of a shadow experience for 2 to 3 weeks where you can shadow someone working in your field of study just to ensure that this is for sure what you want to do. Eva's a really great example of one of those students. So doing 2 travel learning courses, one to the Galapagos Islands, one to Costa Rica, completing 3 different internships throughout her time at Ohio Wesleyan, and having the opportunity to utilize a theory to practice grant for both of her majors, one to study endangered frogs in Panama, and one to study cast iron practices in Birmingham, Alabama, to then go on to work in Fairbanks, Alaska. So really not just the degree that she's earning, but the experiences that she had along the way are really helping our graduates stand out as they're applying for jobs, grad school, and other professional programs. So like I said, we are located in a small town called Delaware, which Delaware is quickly growing because Columbus, Ohio, the 14th largest city in the United States, is also rapidly growing. And so in turn, our small town is also growing a lot. We have really great small town feel. I always like to describe it as a hallmark town where people are going to get to know each other. We have a horse parade that goes through the center of campus in the fall, but then you also get downtown Columbus where students are doing internships with places like Nationwide Insurance and the Columbus Zoo and things like that. Our 5 most popular majors at Ohio Wesleyan, zoology being our biggest major, then next business, politics and government, health and human kinetics, and psychology. But we do have over 70 different majors for students to choose from. And like I said, lots of our students are double majoring or having multiple minors to complement their primary major. And you don't have to declare a major until the end of your sophomore year. So our students have time to really explore what they want to study and gain different experiences before they actually declare a major. We have lots of things going on campus. Our first year residence hall just got a full renovation with 24-hour dining, all you can eat dining, a fitness facility. Our senior students on campus also are getting a brand new apartment complex. So lots of our housing is brand new for our students. Our basketball team and volleyball team just got a brand new gym as well. So there's lots of new construction on campus right now. The overall cost of tuition, I know that looks really intimidating. At $62,000, but at the end of the day, 99% of our students are receiving scholarships or need-based aid, so they pay between $14,000 to $16,000 in actual dollars that they're paying to the university, and we bring that overall cost of tuition down with our $30,000 per year scholarship, which just requires a 3.6 GPA, and we always take your weighted GPA for those scholarships. So I do appreciate you taking the time to hear more about Ohio Wesleyan, and I will put my contact information in the chat if you have further questions.
Courtney, thanks so much. We're on to our final presenter from the University of Toledo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon. My name is Justin C. I am the Regional Enrollment Manager for the University of Toledo. So in my role, I'm based in Central Ohio. I actually live in Columbus, and I work with all of our students from Central Ohio, Southeastern Ohio, and then our students over on the West Coast. So to give you a little overview of the University of Toledo, we are located in Toledo, Ohio, which is in the northwest part of the state. Toledo itself is the 4th largest city in Ohio, behind Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. If you're looking at it on a map, we're located about 45 minutes south of the Detroit airport. We're about an hour and a half west of Cleveland and about 4 hours east of Chicago, Illinois. So we're right there in that northwest corner of the state. We are a comprehensive public university in the state of Ohio. So we're one of the 14 public universities in the state, medium-sized school with about 20,000 students enrolled. 16,000 of those students are undergrads, so students just like you that are looking to pursue their bachelor's degree at the university. But we also have a number of great graduate and professional programs as well. So you can definitely get a great experience at the University of Toledo, whether you're in the undergraduate level or if you're looking at graduate and professional programs. 83% of our students are from somewhere other than Toledo. So we do have students from 42 states and 84 countries around the globe. So you really get an amazing, diverse campus. I think students are always really impressed because they're able to meet students of all different backgrounds, different experiences, different locations, and certainly students from California. We do have about 45 students total from California on campus. So there is a growing number of students that are coming to the university from your area as well. 31% of our students are first in their family to attend college. So we really provide a great accessible education, and it's a very comprehensive university with a lot to choose from. There are over 120 different majors. The largest college at the University of Toledo is our College of Engineering. Outside of that, you do have opportunities in the College of Nursing and our College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. We have a Cosmetic Science and Formulation Design major. We are the only undergraduate program of that type in the country. So if you're actually looking to create your own products and get into the industry that way, that is an amazing opportunity for you at the university. Outside of that, then there are majors in the arts, humanities. There's a College of Business and Innovation. So if you are pretty certain what you want to major in and you want to start getting that in-depth look right off the bat, you can, but certainly if you want to take some time to explore, maybe take classes in areas you didn't have the opportunity to in high school just yet, you definitely have those opportunities as well. If you want to enter the university undecided, that's totally okay. We do have a university college that helps you find a great fit for you at the university. They also offer a program where you actually can create your own bachelor's degree at the university. It's an interdisciplinary approach. So we definitely want to be accessible for you and really helping you craft that great academic experience. Some of those professional programs that I mentioned earlier, I just want to highlight those here. We do have our own College of Law. We do have a 3+3 program at the University of Toledo. So you can complete your bachelor's degree and earn your JD in 6 years. So it'd be 3 years of undergrad, 3 years at the law school. We also offer a Back to MD program with our College of Medicine. So if you participate in Back to MD, as long as you have a 3.5 GPA, you're guaranteed an interview with our College of Medicine and Life Sciences, and you would not be required to take the MCAT if you're participating in that program. So many of our students that are looking at medical school as an option are very intrigued by that program. It's very popular for us at the university. If you're thinking about dental school, we also have a part partnership with Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, and we offer a dental school pathway to their College of Dentistry. So really great opportunities that you can even start building upon in your undergraduate at the university. Outside of the classroom, I think we have a very supportive and a very active campus community. So you can definitely get involved and really create that amazing experience outside of the classroom at the university. There are over 400 clubs and organizations to choose from. If you go through our full list and you can't quite find that one that makes sense for you, you can actually start your own club or organization. You just need 6 friends and a faculty or staff advisor. You've got your own club or organization on the university campus as well. Great way to make connections with like-minded students. And again, we're that medium-sized school, so the community is very big for us at the university. I think it's just big enough that you see new faces each and every day, but you're also small enough that you can you see those familiar faces as well. People are gonna know you, and you're just gonna have that great experience, kind of that Goldilocks fit there. With our application process, like many universities across the country, we did adopt a test optional application. You can apply to any of our majors test optional. You can also apply to the Jessup Scott Honors College test optional. We are actually going to remain test optional indefinitely. So we will definitely be offering this pathway for students looking to begin in fall 2022 and beyond. Likewise, if you want to submit an ACT or SAT score, you can also do that. We do super scores, so we take we look at the highest sub score from every test date, combine those together and make a new total score or composite score for you. I'm always happy to work with students. If you have any questions about the pathways or which might be the best for you, I'm certainly happy to be a resource for you in the process. I do want to highlight our scholarship opportunities at the University of Toledo. So tuition, general fees, and room and board for out-of-state students is right around $32,000 a year. We do offer very generous merit scholarships. They range from $9,500 to $14,500 each year. And there is a scholarship search tool. So you do have some amazing scholarship opportunities at the university as well that really make this an affordable option for you. Here is my contact information. I'm always happy to connect with you after today. And I will also put my information in the chat as well. I look forward to working with all of you as you explore more about the University of Toledo. Thank you so much.
Justin, thank you so much. In the time we have left, we're going to do a quick round robin here. We've got one question that we'll have each of our counselors respond to with their perspectives. We'll go in the order that we presented. So the first question for our prospective students are, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? We'll start with our colleague from the University of Delaware.
Yeah, great question. I would probably recommend students to sit down in a quiet place and think about the 3 or 4 things that are important to him or her about going to college. Keep in mind that there's no such thing as a perfect college. So having a long list of must-haves, and you're going to find when researching that one college doesn't have everything. And so what are the things, 3 to 4 things that you will never waver on when you're making your decision and making sure your list is balanced between schools that may be very difficult for everyone to get into, some that you might be on the same academic guidelines and your resume background, and then some that maybe your academic background exceeds them. So having options at the end is very important.
Thank you so much, Chuck. On to our next school, University of New Hampshire.
Thanks, Dave. Great advice, Chuck. I was, for me, I would always encourage students to ask questions. There is a lot of, I feel like, mystery regarding the admission process, especially when, if you're like a first generation college student, which, I was myself, student who might not be as familiar and might not have as much resources and guidance. Like, ask questions. I'm a true believer that there's no stupid question when it's come to everything in life, but especially when it's come to the admission process. So ask away, and we're here to answer those questions for you. Probably have heard everything, so your question won't shock us.
Thank you so much. On to Rider University.
Yes, thank you very much. This is advice that I gave to my son and daughter, who had successfully graduated in 4 years, quite a while ago. But one of the things that I mentioned to them, that the college search process is a match to be made not a prize to be won. And so that means that you need to take advantage of all of us admissions counselors to not only ask those questions, but to come and visit us, fingers crossed, not virtually, but in person. Thank you.
Thank you. On to Rutgers, New Brunswick.
Okay, I have two pieces of advice. One, don't be afraid to be like flexible. The school that you think is your dream school right now might change over the course of the next year even. And then my other piece of it, like any school, you can actually make any school your dream school. And my other piece of advice is, please, I'm telling you from experience, try to limit your student loans if you need to take them out, because it might seem like a good idea now, because it will help you get to where you want to go. But if you can keep them as low as possible, and one way you can do that is applying for scholarships, or even, you know, just compare the tuitions of the schools that you're interested in, and really think about money, even if it's not an issue to you right now. You'll be happy in the long run if you don't have massive student loans weighing you down in the future. So just really think about that. Like if you can get this quality education, and how you're paying for it and what your options are for getting to where you want to go. But yeah, student loans are definitely a burden. So I would just say, you know, very candidly, try to limit them if possible.
Thank you. On to Ohio Wesleyan University.
I would say keep an open mind as you're doing your college search, and don't just talk to us as admission professionals, but ask us to connect you to students, faculty, and staff. We have great advice and great information for you all about the university, but talking to our students and talking to our faculty are really going to help you get to know us as institutions, and what is going to be, as Marianne said, that best match for you to really find your home for the next 4 years.
Thank you. Lastly, the University of Toledo.
I would echo what Courtney said in keeping an open mind. I think especially as you're building your search process, there's really no harm in, you know, signing up on college mailing lists, and requesting that information now, because you might find a really unique facet about a university that you weren't able to glean, you know, just by perusing the website or anything like that. So I think just keeping an open mind, you might be surprised what you learn just by signing up and listening for more information from us, from our current students. And I think that it makes for a really great process that way. None of us expect you to be experts on our individual colleges. So definitely reach out to us at any point. We are all happy to be resources for you, and looking to make that connection with you.
Thank you so much. With that, this concludes our fair for today. We'd ask that all of our participants take the quick survey. Also note there are more sessions available, so look on the StriveScan website. Finally, note the recording will be available at strivescan.com/WACAC. Thanks to all of our presenters, and hope everybody has a great rest of their day. Bye-bye.